So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is how much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiva grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show. On Lifestyle Radio.
Very good, Marcel.
Oh.
I
told you.
Missed it.
That was hot.
What was that, Mary Jane? You were what?
I said that was hot.
And Mary Jane, when you sign up today, can you let me know if you've got all the powers?
I actually will not.
Somebody tell me you were.
I'll let you know.
I don't think your boyfriend would like it.
I don't think, yeah. I
We
think
have a
Chris would be
couple
upset.
sections going, remember?
I'm good. Thank you.
Al's the only one that needs a date.
I need a date. Yep.
Well, I made it so that I think I've made it. Let me rephrase. I think I've made it so that all the women are free on the site now. So if she was signing up, she would be able to let me know. So.
So
it's free for women, you charge for guys.
I used to do that too
Isn't that
back in the
kind of
day.
racist?
No,
Pardon me?
racist.
Racist. I'm just following. I'm following other dating sites protocol. How's that?
You're being
doesn't make
racist
it
by
any
not
less
allowing
racist.
men. That's fucking hilarious, man.
Get in. You're right.
So
Guys,
we are
cover.
chatting. Sorry, Mary Jane. Are you done?
No.
Well, I was trying to introduce ourselves. We haven't even done that yet.
Ever
We should
done?
introduce
No.
the show.
Fair enough. This is the 420 Radio Show, and I'm Al. And Marcel is the other male voice, and the tiny femme voice that you hear is our own Mary Jane, sunshine girl, model, and all-around good egg.
Business person.
Business person. Now she's getting a wearing new hat or new shoes. Did you get new shoes yet?
Yeah, I got winter boots because
You got winter boots.
It's going to be cold and where in some spots you're going, they got a ton of snow.
Yay.
Turn. No, click it down one on the thing there. Click it down one. Okay. Now the next voice you hear is going to be Tracy Lamore. Did you hear her?
No.
Didn't work.
No.
Hold on. I'm coming over, Tracy. Ugh.
They're beating on the mic. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, does this work now? How embarrassing is that?
Hello. There we go. Good morning.
There you go. You can hear her now?
Okay, now we can hear.
Okay.
That was Tracy with an usurper, Dave.
Tracy and Dave are here, her husband. Dave's not here. And they're going to join us for the conversation as well, as long as everybody can hear. Can you say something, Tracy?
Hi.
Yep, that's fine. So, Glenn, I am on... Glenn is the host of Cannamatch.ca, correct?
Yes, CEO, whatever you want to call
The CEO, CEO, ABC,
All of them,
1, 2, 3. So meet 420 and 710 friendly singles across the North America.
Yeah, well, it's on the World Wide Web, so it's pretty much anywhere you can type in an address on the internet. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to sign in using my. No, I'm not. I'm going to sign in using. Become a member. Oh, come on.
Well, I'm on the admin page, so as soon as you're done, I'll refresh it, and you'll be at the top of the list.
Register for free. All right. So while I'm doing this, We've got Dave and Tracy here. We've got Mary Jane and Marcel. And this is the 420 Radio Show. We are live here at Gunjanistas at 242 King Street. I'm still not used to having people around me. I'm usually in my apartment doing this. We're at 242 King East in Hamilton, Ontario, at the corner, the cannabis corner of Ferguson and King. Paula's run away and hid now because the mics are on. So.
Is that how that works?
We'll find her later.
Okay, so why didn't you want to sign up with Facebook?
Is that on the mountain or off the mountain?
Right, we're downtown in the old village.
Yeah, I was just making a joke because we have mountains, they don't.
Yeah, I call them mountains.
Okay, so while I'm filling all this stuff out, and I will keep popping back in and out, I wanted to let you talk with Mary Jane about and Marcel about what is it you're trying to do with Cannamatch. I've been running chat sites for 20 plus years, and I know that you can find porn anywhere. What you can't find is cannabis dating, because most of the dating sites now are there for one reason and one reason only: Tinder. And so it's nice to see. I'm looking forward to what I'm going to see when I get inside here. So I'll let you guys talk, and you can go from there.
Okay.
Now they're not going to talk. Oh, look, I found Paula.
No, I was just going to let him ramble on for a while, and then I was going to pump him full of questions.
Okay, so tell us why you came up with this, and we'll go from there.
Sure. So I created Cannamatch because I was on Plenty of Fish, eHarmony, Single Parents, all those kind of dating sites. And one of the questions on there was, do you do drugs? And I would always say yes. Because, the general population thinks that marijuana is a drug. So I'd always say yes, and I never got any hits. So I think after 2 years of paying for a subscription here and there, I was like, wow, we need a site where people can meet people who smoke pot. We don't have to worry about any stereotypes or stigmas or anything, not falling in love with somebody 3 months later down the road, telling them that you smoke pot and they hate you because you haven't lied. Because you've lied to them, right? So it was more out of frustration and stuff like that. And then I started doing my lives on Facebook, and I was able to advertise Cannamatch, and I got the feel of things. And I was like, wow, I could really make a difference by having a site like this for people to meet each other and either fall in love, be friends, and smoke weed together. It doesn't matter. You can do it all on Cannamatch.
I'm registering for free.
Yes. Everybody gets 50 credits when you sign up. So that allows you 10 messages. So you can buy another 100 credits for only $2.99. That's the lowest we could go. We also realized that you have to buy a bag of weed for that date, so we kept it really low.
So you're going to see me. I just signed up as 420 Al.
Okay, let me refresh here. I got you. Should I just delete you?
I gotta, just go ahead and delete me. Oh, we can even put private pictures.
All right, so I'm gonna give you.
I'm gonna
give you 740 days of free. Okay.
Oh, awesome.
That's 2 years.
Thank you. Awesome.
365 plus 365 is 740. I do believe.
Now I'm putting up my banner as my picture for now.
Sure. All right.
What was that, Mary Jane?
The pressure's on. You got 2 years, Al.
Yeah, I got 2 years. Oh, look, somebody's already chatting with me.
Oh, nice. Nice. See, it works.
Hi, Glenn.
Thank you for Cannamatch.
Glenn's chatting with him.
No, it's not me. All right.
It's just the admin thingy. My greeting thing.
You know, that's funny, Glenn, that you say you used to write on that app that you did drugs, because when I first signed up for that app, I answered that as no, because I look at cannabis as not being a drug. And then later on, like you're saying, you have that conversation with that person like a couple months down the road, and they're like so appalled at the fact that you smoke cannabis. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know,
I've had that happen many times.
You know, right?
I've
Because
had.
to me, cannabis is not a drug.
That's
No,
right.
yeah.
I've chatted with a lady a few times, kind of hit it off, and then so what do you do for fun? And blah 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 blah, and as well, I like to bake cannabis stuff and that kind of shit, and it's like, oh, okay, well, have a nice night, and I'm like.
Yeah. I was always upfront. How do you feel about pot? Some people would say they didn't like it. Some people said that they grew up with it, with their parents smoking it, didn't bother them. I even went on Craigslist and hardly got any hits from Craigslist, and that was a free one.
I like I said, I've been running dating and chat sites for years and years and years, and I got to the point where if you just go and put yourself out there as being available, and if somebody kind of takes a liking and you get off chatting with each other or whatever, and but I find that what's lacking is chat rooms now, because everybody's gone to Twitter and to Facebook, and that's all one-on-one. I used to run rooms on the IRC. Okay, that's how long I've been doing this.
Okay.
So you guys have a chat room on here?
Yeah, you can chat. Yes, that's where it costs money. So
okay.
It's 5 credits to send a message. You get 50 credits when you sign up. I've arranged that you have 740 paid days. You have 9,999 credits.
Woohoo! How many women you got on the site?
It doesn't tell me that, because it gives me monthly perhaps. But I'm gonna like I said to somebody today, I'm taking a shot in the dark. There's probably more guys right now, but as soon as I find out that women are free, and once somebody signs up, I'm gonna have to get somebody to do it, and they can still do everything. I can make the announcement that they're free on the site. But then, like you said, somebody was said like, "Why are you being racist?" Maybe I won't say that.
We used to back in the day.
Get mad at me, right? Because what do you mean?
Back in the day, my chat rooms were all video chat rooms. Okay, and back in the day, we used to let the women and couples come on for free, and the guys had to pay a $10 membership. That's what we did. And that's back in like 94. I think Tracy's raising her hand. She must have a question.
Is this thing on?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, because that Glenn has been doing an amazing job in mainstream media too, and we hope to continue to get him on to, kind of getting people outside of just the cannabis community, because there's a whole bunch of smokers and that are interested, that we don't know. Yes. And I thought it was really interesting when CP24 or the City TV in Vancouver did the interview. They actually went out and did a man on the street kind of thing, and they talked about 5 or 6 people and just said, what do you think of the idea of a cannabis dating site? And every single person that they played was positive. Every person they played was completely positive about the idea, so I hope that we'll be able to get a lot more people signing on. And when we get masses of people, Al, you'll find your lovely lady, and she might be your future co-host. Who knows?
Bringing the marriage.
I already have a female co-host. Thank you.
Bringing the marriage to marijuana.
Yeah. So okay. So you've been getting. Yeah, I know Tracy's mic is a little low. Uh-oh. Now you see, okay. Now everybody in my life knows that I do a show at 7 p.m. on Fridays.
You're getting messages.
Thank you for
again.
the text messages.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to shut off my Facebook. Thanks, PJ. So, all right. So I'm going to, you guys talk, and I'm going to play a can of roulette.
Cool.
Tell me what can of roulette is.
The Canada Roulette is just basically your swipe right, click left thing. So you're going to see a bunch of people, and you're going to say yes, you'd like to meet them or not.
Okay, so now I gotta
So
change
once
my
you say
filter.
yes, a
You
message
can change
goes
your
to that
filters.
person.
You can change your filter so you can find who you're looking for.
Yeah, and I put you into the spotlight.
Aw, thank you.
So you're up top there. You're going to be there until I take you down.
What's an appropriate age? Let's see for me. You
Half your
say
age plus 7.
35 to 55.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a good range.
Half your age plus 7?
Yeah, that's an old thing. That's that's what somebody says. If you're
We'll
going to
go
go
60.
dating and you want to date somebody younger, should be half your age plus 7 years.
Okay, so I'm 55. So what would you recommend that
So
I put?
20. You would say 27 and add 7
No.
to that.
I already
So
tried the
35 is good.
24-year-old.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that again.
35 to 55, 35 to 75, whatever you want.
I put 35 and 60. All right, so
Al,
I'm not your mom or dad. If you want to date
65 to
some 20-year-old, go ahead.
65 to 90. Hey, I got pictures taken now. Don't show my picture. Don't show my picture.
No.
Now, okay, so
I thought you said you didn't pick your picture up.
I have to do it on my phone to do it. And that leads to my next question. Is this app friendly? Do you have an app for mobile, or will a mobile app load when you go to the site?
That's going to cost some money, and with sponsorship, I'm going to be able to do that.
Okay.
Google was a little bit worried about it being a cannabis-friendly site, that they didn't want to give it to us before. We couldn't even do Google Ads because it has something to do with marijuana. I can't even boost it on. I can't even boost it on Facebook because it has a couple section, and they think it's for swinging. And I've explained to them what the couple section was, but because I have a little box that says couples, they won't allow me to boost any of my advertising on Facebook.
Well, you know what? We're gonna talk off air about that, okay, bud? Because I know some workarounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Were you
right.
saying something, Mary Jane?
I was asking Glenn to the couples aspect.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What about it? Okay, so
Yeah.
the couple section works as if you are a couple and you sign up, if you go to a pot-friendly province or state, you can look up the other couples on our site and find out where to get medication in their town safely. Vice versa. If you're living in Vancouver, somebody could come from Colorado and say, we've never been to Vancouver. We don't know all the shops where to get good stuff. Can you help us? One, you're meeting somebody who smokes. Two, you're meeting another couple, so you might be able to make friends. And you have an out-of-town friend, and then vice versa. You could go to their Colorado, and they can show you the same thing. It could include bars and restaurants. It's just a general couples meeting, couple section.
So this is a worldwide. You've got worldwide people. It's not just Canada, right?
Yeah. It's mostly in North America right now.
So you can look here. You can search for. I'm just going through the settings and stuff like that. And I'm looking at the timeline. Ooh, there's my picture.
In the spotlight.
I see. Okay, so you've got games. Let's go to games. See what happens when we get games. 3D Labyrinth. Ooh, we might have to take a break.
Yeah, the labyrinth works like you can meet. You pick a person that you want to look like. What do they call those things?
Yeah.
Avatar.
You pick an avatar, and then the other person, if they can come into that you're chatting to, can come into that room, and they pick an avatar.
Cool.
And you can pretend that you're talking person to person. It's just
3D
another way
chess,
to chat.
tic-tac-toe, and giant checkers. And okay, so chat center. Going to the chat center.
See, now I'm actually interested in the couples aspect, not because I
Sign it
thought
up.
it was
Sign it
totally
up,
different.
then we can play games, Mary Jane. I know you
I
like
don't
to
want
play games.
games. That's why I didn't want to download it.
Well, Mary Jane, it came about when I was handing out flyers. Somebody would say, "I have a boyfriend" or "I have a girlfriend already." So we had to come up with a way to include the people who already had a boyfriend or girlfriend, and that's what we came up with.
Well, see, it's great because I travel a lot. And, I'm gone for a couple days at a time, and that's one of my biggest issues is if I don't take enough cannabis with me is where am I going to find it?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that's why we came up with this, right? It's
You've
not
got
a
the
sweet
East Coast covered
You
at
guys
least.
do what you want when you meet, right? But it's not made for that. It's just to help out so you don't have to buy weed off of some guy on a corner in some strange city where you don't know.
Wow, that brings back memories.
It does, doesn't it? Only if you're old. Millennials would never know.
Oh, I don't know. Somebody insulted me the other day by calling me a millennial, and I was like, hey.
I'm not insulted if they call me a millennial. I was just sort of flattered. I'm a little bit older than that.
Yeah, I don't get called a millennial.
Tracy,
No.
I got a question for Tracy. Tracy, you're doing promotions for Glenn, and you've, I'm sure, talked.
And Tracy does an awesome job.
No, one more. There you go. No, middle one. There you go.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. So, in your trying to reach out to people and doing your networking, what are they saying to you? I mean, cannabis dating. There's really it's there. That's better. It's really not a new concept, dating.
Media to media, they're like they've never heard it before.
Okay. You go on adult sites like AFF and all those kinky sites for chatting and meeting people that are kinky, and you can't even put cannabis. I like to put I'm cannabis friendly. I'm looking for a cannabis friendly chick.
Can't even put the word, you mean?
No,
like in the intro?
They wouldn't allow it on my profile on one site, so I switched it to 710 and they allowed it.
They went up on the codes.
Why didn't you pick 420?
They probably would have known that.
They wouldn't let me use 420. They would not approve my profile. So that leads to my next question. Are you when somebody goes, I'm going to do my profile in a second here. So when I do that, is there a little elf sitting there in front of a computer saying yay or nay to what I put on my profile?
No.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You can run amok.
I can run amok?
You can run amok.
And what are the naughty limits on the website? The naughty limits.
I'm gonna say I don't have any naughty limits. I haven't had that problem.
I'm gonna set them for you. I'll set the bar high. Okay.
I haven't had that problem yet. I haven't had people complaining yet.
You haven't had Al on there yet.
Yeah, you'll be getting complaints by Monday. Yeah, like 420 Al. He's a real pig. Mary Jane, have you ever used a dating site?
Nope, never.
Really? And Marcel?
Yeah, why not?
You have?
Well, yeah.
No, not since
Years,
you've been married.
but a long time ago.
People, we're sitting on a radio show live, and I'm asking people if they've ever gone on a dating site.
We've both been married
and
since '94.
That's right. Yeah. These guys have been married. Mary Jane has a boyfriend, and Marcel is married as well, and I'm not. I have a dog and a cat.
We've been married so long they didn't have dating sites when we got married. They had like chat lines.
Yeah, chat lines.
Yeah, 1-900, come and lick my toe.
Yeah. 1-900, give us your money.
Mary Jane, I see you perving on my site.
That's how.
Thank you.
Hey, you know what? That's pretty quick though. Okay. It's like it just.
I wouldn't brag about that.
You what? Brag about that. See, I got a new person here. Okay, now let's see what happens when I chat. Clicking chat. Hello.
So yeah, it's super easy to sign up.
It
I
really
did it
is. You know, I haven't had any roadblocks yet.
I
just
see.
signed
I
up to
see, I
Praise
see
Club.
your sign up too, Mary Jane.
Oh, so you can see me.
She signed up as Mary Jane Baker.
She
Do a
did.
singles event.
35? Really?
Yeah, well, you didn't think I was that old?
I'm just
And I didn't even lie about my age. Oh
So,
my God. What is this world to?
what I'm doing, I would be taking pictures, but my phone died and I don't have my charger. But what I'm doing here is I'm rolling doobies for our Hope program and Pot for Poverty donations for Hope here in Hamilton, which is the Hamilton opioid prevention experiment. Yeah. So we're rolling pre-rolls. That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Fun.
So, Mary Jane, can we do a test?
Sure.
This is a test.
All right.
This is a
Can
test of the
you-
emergency 420
All right.
dating
I
service.
just took away all your credits and stuff. Can you see if you can message Al still?
You Indian giver.
No, I didn't take away yours, Al. I took away Marianne just to see if the changes to see if they're working.
Marianne. We call her
See?
Marianne.
Marianne
too all
is
the
so
time.
easy.
Oh, wait, you know what? Marianne might not because she came in as a couple, so I better give her the days and stuff like that.
My popularity
Just
is
realized
very
that, yeah,
low.
I've only got it set for just the ladies.
Notice,
Okay, Marianne, you're the same as Al. You've got 2 years and almost 10,000 credits.
9,994 to be exact.
Yeah, because
Just
you used 5.
wasting them
Now,
on you anymore.
Are there any macho backgrounds here? Let me look. Ooh, donuts and hot dogs. That might work.
That works great.
Donuts and hot dogs. No, not donuts and hot. That'll make me hungry every time. Drinks. No. Why? Okay, you have to work on your backgrounds, buddy.
Okay.
Little airplanes. That's cute.
There you go.
Little airplanes. Okay, I'm going to leave it as little airplanes.
What are the little airplanes?
You'll have to sign up to have a look, Marcel.
I don't need to sign up.
Oh.
I don't go anywhere, and if I do go anywhere, sign up so I can give my pot away? Is that what you're saying?
You could do like
So that you can smoke with everybody.
Yeah.
You don't have to find love, Marcel. You might just find somebody to smoke with.
Oh, I never have a shortage of that.
See, and I sit here in Mission, British Columbia on my couch most of the time.
Me too.
So yeah,
I don't find that many people that smoke as much as I do. So
yeah, and
they just tap out.
Out east, it's probably rare.
I won't be able to
what's
do the
rare?
show here again in the window on mushrooms because they're kind of the shadows are kind of freaking me out as people walk by the window.
What do you mean? What would be rare out here?
A lot of
smoking
people
pot?
smoke compared to people in British Columbia, where it's almost like every sixth person.
It's about the same out here.
Oh, really? Because when I was out there, it seemed like it was a different kind of an attitude.
Oh no, it's really laid back. You just gotta.
You got to find the right people.
Yeah, don't go to Cliff Effects.
We're really nice people, but we're not really trusting very much at first.
Yes.
So you got to kind of warm up to us.
I went to St. John's, New Brunswick. That's as far as I made it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, there's. Well, actually, medical wise, we've got the highest per capita of licensed patients.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah. Because everybody's sick out here, and everybody grows.
Well, they're sick
We
of
were
being on
sick
the
here.
East
Everybody
Coast.
was sick here. I was sick for over a week.
Really? I hardly ever get sick.
Yeah, I don't get sick very
So
often.
anybody who's listening, if you are on Cannamatch.ca,
Hit up Al.
feel free to look up 420 Al. That's me. Hi, how are you? I'll fill out the rest when I'm home alone. Talking to myself.
If you're not on Cannamatch.ca,
Ooh, Al wants to put some stuff on there.
Okay,
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay, you guys both have membership, so I've made sure of that. All right.
Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate that.
No problem. I appreciate it too. Yeah, I
If
guess.
you're not
Guess
on
I.
Cannamatch.ca, sign up on Cannamatch.ca across Canada.
Yeah, plug.
The publicist says.
For plugging's sake, I'm going to have a smoke on my Shatterizer here.
There you go.
Shatterizer is our sponsor.
We've all got Shatterizers.
And I have one I have around my neck one, and I'm actually having fun with a new toy.
Wait, I got one too, thanks to Val.
Is Tracy signed up on that site as well?
Her husband's sitting here with her.
I don't think Super Dave won't let her.
Dave walked over. Dave just walked over and gave me the doobie, and then Tracy came over and tried to take it from me.
Wow. That's quite the friends you have there.
Yeah, such great friends, eh?
Awesome.
So Cannamatch is also looking for sponsorship to do some parties. I have an idea for an online ad that's going to kind of have a little bit of a difference, and we'll have it a little niche.
Well,
should I
tell you
explain what I would like to do?
Let's talk after about the possibility of doing something here in Hamilton at Gunjanistas.
Exactly, yeah.
Sure. We could do something for New Year's, Valentine's Day.
Okay, cool. We'll talk about that for sure. Paul and I were actually talking about it when I mentioned that you were on the show.
Okay.
Santa.
Secret Santa. Ooh.
Seeing as we can now all give away up to 30 grams, we could have like just gifting all kinds of cannabis to each other, all kinds of different.
There's going to be a lot of gifting going on in Canada this year.
A cup where we can have people who that don't donate their samples to be tested. They donate a little bit more. We gather up all those little bit more, and then we give it to like 2 or 3 patients at Christmas time, like have a cup in November or something like that, and then give out the extra weed to somebody who needs it, a patient or something, so they can buy Christmas gifts instead of worrying about their medicine for the month of December.
Doesn't the up to 30 grams gift have to be in original packaging, unopened?
No.
I'm just fucking with you.
I have an ACMPR.
It can be in the form. I'd like to give you a gift for $5 donation. I'll give you a doobie in the form of a doobie as a gift.
You buy an expensive T-shirt.
You can't have an expensive T-shirt, but you can
No,
have
no.
this pre-roll.
There was somebody posting that the other day that they were selling T-shirts.
Yes.
And they were expensive, but they came with a free gift of pot.
Yes. That's when I thought of lots of things. You could give a gift to somebody, and then they come back the next day and give you a gift card or something. It's one to say.
It's called paying it forward.
Yeah, paying it forward. Yeah, here's some money for some food because I know you're a single parent.
I'll do paid teaching classes, and the people can leave with a lovely parting gift.
There you go.
We had here. Well, I wasn't able to come, but on last week on Tuesday, Paula had some people come to listen to a talk about mushrooms. Yeah. And she said it went very well. People were very interested. The lady she's going to come back and do more. So I'm looking forward to the next one so I can see it. We were supposed to have comedy tonight, but I don't think that's happening, unfortunately.
I could tell a really bad dad joke.
Well, yeah. Okay, Tracy's going to tell a really bad dad joke, and then we're going to listen to some music.
Okay, this is just I just have to say this. So those of you on my Facebook will have already seen this one, and I was surprised it got like 70 likes, but my father actually got me with a joke that I think he's been saving up for a while. He literally phoned me, and he said, "My pot came." And this is the guy that used to literally tell me he was going to call the police on me if he ever caught me smoking a joint when I was a teenager. So I was a little bit surprised. I'm like, literally like, what? He's like, yeah, my pot came. I'm like, what? You bought pot? And of course he's like, ha ha ha, yeah, my Keurig coffee pot, ha ha ha. But so it's a really bad dad joke. But the funny thing was he went on to talk about different, health conditions he has,
Yeah.
and the normalization all of a sudden about both neighbors are now growing cannabis, and anyway, so it's
My
sea
mom,
change.
my mom called me the other night just to continue on that, and said, "Alan, she goes to a news group every Wednesday morning. My mom's the president of the Jewish Seniors of Ontario Association.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and she said we were talking about cannabis, and can you make some cookies for me to bring in next week?"
Yeah.
I was like, sure.
My mom is 73 years old, never touched a THC or CBD. We visited in May. She couldn't move her left shoulder very much, and her left hand was all swollen. I gave her 1,000 milligrams of CBD. 1 hour later, she was hooked. She was able to move her shoulder. The swelling went down on her hand. Now my mom, every morning at 9 o'clock, her little Google Mini reminds her to take her CBD.
Wow,
Really?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how bring that to the Jewish the meeting there.
And well, on that note, we're going to listen to some music. We'll be back. This is the 420 Radio Show. We are chatting with Glenn from Cannamatch.ca, and we're going to continue doing so with Tracy Lamourie and her husband Dave and whoever else is here. We are live at Gunjanistas. Come on in and smoke one. We'll be right back.
But when you walk out the door, a piece of me died. We were dancing all night. This is Cheech. And this is Chong. And you're listening to Lifestyle Radio. What is it? Lifestyle Radio. Say it one more time. 420 Radio? Ooh.
Please hang up and try again.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
And we are back. This is the 420 Radio Show. We are live at Gunjanistas in Hamilton, 242 King Street East, if you want to come in. I'm here with Glenn and Mary Jane and Marcel and Tracy and Dave and a very loud Shamal playing video games.
Dave's not here.
Dave's not here. And now I've lost my train of thought.
We were talking about dating.
We were talking about dating. Yeah,
Now,
man.
I want to know what he said about worldwide.
Oh, I was going through my list of people here, and I actually have somebody from Uruguay.
See, that would be a good person to hook up with.
And she lives in Montevideo, the city of Montevideo, or something like that. I think she said.
That would be the epitome of the word long distance relationship. I had a long distance relationship with somebody in, we'll just say, Montana. Okay.
Yeah.
And a very long one, 12 years. And I don't think I'd be able to go through that again. But if there's anybody on the other side of the border, I can travel. Just saying.
I can't.
You just don't want to travel to the opposite end of the planet?
You know what? I would, if somebody said, "Hey, Al," and they live in Alaska, I would consider that.
What about Brazil?
I would consider that as well. Yeah, you can grow good weed in Brazil, and as long as I've got internet, I can work.
She says she's a cannabis and anti-prohibitionist and feminist Brazilian living in Uruguay.
Brazilian, yeah, in Uruguay, but you know what? Yeah, okay, now, is a doobie, is it really a dollar a gram in Uruguay?
$1.14, I think it is.
$1.14.
Aren't they the country that was first legalized marijuana, and we're the second now?
Yep.
Yep.
Ah.
But we're the first. We're the first ones to do it like countrywide, though, right, Marcel?
No, they're countrywide.
No, Uruguay was the first. I just read that just recently.
Yeah,
okay.
Uruguay was the first to legalize it countrywide. But what the president of Uruguay did was he decided to cut out the black market completely by setting the price at $1 a gram because the black market price was $1.40.
Oh.
Right, like the black market wholesale.
If we could only get our
worldwide
black market price down to that.
That's still more than what we pay here in Canada, because I could buy an ounce from the black market for $160 instead of $280.
They can buy an ounce for $28.
Wow.
Oh, $28. Oh yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, $28. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh. That tapped me in. Yeah, I thought it was $280. I was thinking the $10.
No,
like it is here. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, $28. Can't beat that.
Colombia legalized pot. Pot is $8 a pound.
Wow. For recreational or just medicinal?
Just legalize it. It's for whatever you want.
Wow.
You want it? The growing rate is about $8 per pound wholesale.
Wow. That's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of weed would it be?
Colombian.
Okay, all right, we're old enough to remember Colombian being that brick weed that was smashed together with seeds and sticks.
Lumber,
So,
I used to call
are
it.
we talking
Lumber.
about the same Colombian?
Yeah, lumber. A lot of people call it lumber.
Seeds all crushed. Yeah.
They've refined their process.
Because that used to be like the real cheap stuff, man. Yeah, I got some Colombian. But the Colombian gold, now that was beautiful stuff. That was a nice golden bud. It was beautiful. It tasted so smooth. It was one of the weeds that I do remember from way back then.
And about 5 years, I grew a garden full.
Really, eh?
It was and it was awesome because it was that nice old school flavor
Yeah.
that you just don't get anymore.
Yeah, like the Blue Hawaiian.
Yeah.
And Temple Balls weed. I mean hash.
And
Temple Balls hash.
and tie stick.
And Thai stick, yes. How about
Hey,
Maui
hey, I got a
Wowie?
question for you guys. What are you guys smoking on? Because I'm smoking on some exclusive extracts right now. That's what I'm smoking
I'm
on.
smoking some Hindu Kush.
So yeah,
I am smoking some full melt bubble hash from black cherry pie, which is mostly sativa gorilla glue cross with cherry pie.
And in the Shatter Razor, I have Pink Kush Shatter.
Mary Jane.
Silence.
Mary
Me,
Jane.
I've got a wide variety to choose from. Right now, I've got Kimbo Kush, a little bit of
Tracy,
Pink
you
Pussy,
just dropped all the
Purple
pre-roll
Pale.
tubes on the floor, man.
No. It's what are you smoking right now?
Yeah, right
Oh,
now.
well, I haven't rolled
Thanks,
anything
Dave.
up yet, but I was thinking about throwing everything all into one massive joint and just having a Friday party.
So you
That's a
mix. You
salad.
like to mix, though. I know that.
And a cigar.
And
I call that Jeffrey.
Jeffrey,
No, that's a salad.
but Mary Jane also likes her blunts.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like
she likes her
tea.
blunts.
So you guys are doing pre-rolls right now,
We're rolling pre-rolls for Pot for Poverty,
and you're doing cones.
and we're what? We're doing
You're filling
cones.
cones?
Yeah, I'm just doing them manually, just packing them and
Why not
rolling
use
them.
the auto?
Because it doesn't. It actually takes longer than just
Fucking does, doesn't it?
doing one.
It's nice. It's a nice rig, really cool, fun for demos and having a chat around it. But
They have one
if
that,
you've
that
got to
does
do
5 as
any
well.
amount, no, it doesn't.
They have one that does multiple ones, and that would be cool to do 5 at a time. Right?
If,
That would be
if you
pretty
didn't
cool.
have to take them out halfway to pack them down.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. But I find I can do, a joint a minute.
Wow, really, eh? That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
You get pretty good at them. Right? Yep. So, okay, so you've got people from Uruguay. I know that we have listeners from Uruguay. Actually, I know that, and I look at the stats on where people listen from, and I'm like, are you fucking shitting? Like Tembago, like where the fuck is Tembago?
I do a morning broadcast under Glenn Wells on Facebook, and I get like South Africa, New
Yeah.
Zealand,
Yeah.
Australia, all kinds of places.
Cool. We're gonna start utilizing video here. We just got to figure out where we're gonna put up the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it says no video on my side.
Well, we have discovered that when you have pretty girls on your video, people watch. We had Mary Jane was here with Madison Baines from the Naked News, and they had their camera set up on them, and you girls had what 400 or 500 people watching, eh?
Yeah,
I was one.
Yeah, me too. Well, I didn't have to watch it on the camera. I just, I was just
No,
right
but
there.
in actuality, it was really nice having that view from that spot, which, if you were going to set up a camera, that's the better way to do it.
Well, it's also, Dave and I used to turn our cameras on when we were doing the show with Brian, and it was more so not for anybody else. I mean, we didn't care if anybody watched or not, but it was more so because we're all in different locations, we can see, and it does change the dynamics because you'll see somebody leaning up, getting ready to say something during a conversation where we don't have that now. Although Marcel and I have been doing this for close to 5 years together, and Mary Jane's been with us now for 2. So we work pretty well together. We know, when somebody stops, Marcel will jump in. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I've lost my train of
People
thought.
get high and they lose their train of thought as they're mid-sentence.
That's
right
like
now.
I just did. Yeah. Thank you, Shatterizer.
The only problem that we had with the video is because they were streaming it to their Instagram accounts, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But there's a delay.
Yeah.
So the movements are happening later.
Yeah.
on the video,
But
then
that
you're
doesn't
hearing
matter when you're looking at Madison Baines and Mary Jane.
No.
Okay, it's all right, but it's just true.
So Al, I've taken your advice, and I'm going to give couples and women 2 years free on the site. I've got 80 pages, so it's going to take me a long time to do this, but I'm gonna make it.
Well,
So that
I will. Let me just add to that. One of the only real issue that we had was we found that there were a lot of guys that would come on with their couple, as a couple once, and then it's really just the guy looking for a quick fuck. So.
I was thinking more on the line that if the couples had 2 years free, it would be easier for Mary Jane to be finding somebody to talk to on Cannamatch because they're able to.
But if they're couples, yes, they have. Do you verify your members? Are your members verified?
But if you're going to do couples, then you should verify both.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Both of them.
Do a verification picture and I mean, you cannot. The people are sitting in the privacy of their home. You can't say, okay, now look, we gave you a couple's membership, but only she and he's allowed on. You're not allowed on by yourself, mister. You can't say that to somebody.
No.
They have a membership. They have a membership.
But you can stop Billy Bob from signing up as a couple when Billy Bob's sitting home single, if he's got to send verification from his spouse as well.
Yeah.
Okay, but now Billy Bob's got a 10-inch joint. A guy and a girl that are angry because Billy Bob doesn't have somebody.
Did you hear what Dave said about Billy Bob? We're going to start a Billy Bob story. What did you say, Dave?
I'm just saying on Billy Bob's profile, he says he has a 10-inch joint.
Yeah, well, I'm walking around with a Cannagar in my pocket.
Dress him up, but I just can't take him anywhere.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't go out much. So let's switch topics here for a little bit off of dating. We've been talking about dating for an hour already. I'm curious to know what Glenn thinks and feels about our current climate here. I'm in Ontario. Marcel's in PEI. Mary Jane's kind of in between us.
PEI.
What's that?
Where the fuck are you at? Where you been? I'm not in PEI.
PEI, sorry, Nova Scotia. But Mary Jane's still in between us.
Why not say Mary Jane's in Quebec?
Mary Jane's near Belleville, Trenton area.
Well, could be Quebec.
Could be.
I mean, you call them PEI Nova Scotia, so.
Yeah.
What did you want to know about the climate?
I don't remember.
You don't know?
I blame Shatterizer for that one.
I blame Tracy Lemurray for that one. She passed me a doobie. Her husband passed me a doobie.
But I thought they took it right away from you.
No, she just took it again.
Gave it back.
She keeps intervening and changing the
No,
direction.
you know what? I'm sitting in a very...
what the climate was across the country in regards to this. In regards to legalization.
Oh,
yes.
You mean cannabis? Oh,
yeah.
Everybody's complaining.
Why? Why would they complain? It's legal.
I've heard Quebec had to close down only 3 days a week.
Have you heard Quebec what the CAC has done?
Too much plastic wrapping and the LP stuff that some guy is now making limbs. Plastic limbs, like recycling the plastic and making limbs for people with that.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's a good idea. For the recreational person, yeah, it's nice to be able to go into a store and buy some weed. But for us, people have been smoking for years. We know what they've been putting in their weed. And then I kind of understand that these big guys have to use these chemicals because they can't lose a whole warehouse full of weed, because then their profits would go down and their stock people would be not happy. So they have to use these chemicals, right? My doctor personally in Surrey, he's a pain specialist, used to refer to Tilray. I asked him just a couple of months ago if he's still doing that. He says not as much. He was having complaints about people coming back and saying that the weed was hurting them, like sore throats and stuff like that. So it's It's up to you, I guess.
Have you heard what they've tried to do in Quebec now? The CAC, the new government there. It's crazy. Business owners are freaking out. They banned any public display of the word cannabis or an image of a pot leaf or or 420 on T-shirts. So retailers, they're freaking out. They're like, well,
I
this is
can't
on
go
all
there
of our
then because
merch.
that's the only jacket I have.
Yeah, and apparently now in Quebec they've gone so like crazy. If you're wearing like a T-shirt with like a cannabis leaf, it's illegal now. So literally, the CAC came in and they just screwed everything up for Quebec and retailers and business owners. Yeah, you've got a cannabis shirt. I've got one on. I got a leaf on my shirt right now. We'd be like banned in Quebec under this CAC that they're spewing. It's crazy.
It's everything. It's mugs,
all literature.
hats,
Yeah.
everything.
Any literature, books.
And Health Canada just sent out a letter to all the ACMPR people that you have to follow the rules that are in your province. Whereas I was allowed to have 150 grams on me at one time with my permit, and or no, I think it was 150 grams at home or something. But now
on your possession.
On my possession. I know that like and a certain amount at home, but now BC says that you can have 1,000 grams at home, so you can have a kilogram.
I think that as far as I know, there's no limit to what you can have at home.
Not now.
Oh, there is in British Columbia.
Not now.
Yeah.
Yes. I can read you the excerpt right from the news item that I just shared with my friend. You're allowed to have, I guess, recreational. These are people who are non-ACMPR.
Yeah, you're right. I had read this too, Glenn, today. Tell us what it is exactly, but I had read that the BC regulations specifically were different than, like the provinces are able to have further restrictions, and I heard the BC regulations in that regard are way stricter. So how much is it? What's the limit?
I'm just reading it here. Okay, so in BC sets a maximum possession limit of 1,000 grams of dried cannabis or equivalent for non-public places such as in a home. Prohibits illegal retailers from advertising themselves as a licensed retailer and prohibits anyone from advertising a place or a location to consume cannabis or to go after consuming cannabis.
So that's like over
so you're
2
allowed
pounds.
To have 1,000 grams. You can have a kilogram at home.
Unless you're a grower. Because if you're a grower, you have a storage limit from your license.
Yeah.
Which is going to be the equivalent of at least one complete grow.
So you're talking about recreational, right? These
are
the rules recreational. See, and Marcel's saying if you're medicinal, those storage limits don't apply to you. It's unlimited storage for us now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just another reason for you to get your medical license if you don't already have it.
Mary Jane, do you know, or does anybody know, and maybe I should probably know this, but so I have a 2 gram a day prescription, so that would be under the old, before the October 17th, 60 grams, right? A month.
Yeah.
So does that mean, how does that relate to now? So does that mean when I'm out, I can carry my monthly, my 60 grams plus another 30 grams, or just the greater of the two? Oh, it does? So that means I have 90?
Yeah.
I could carry my monthly plus 30 recreational grams?
Your medical side allows you to carry the equivalent to 1 month's supply or 150 grams.
So for me, it would be my 60 grams is my medical for the month. So you're saying additionally, I would also be allowed to carry 30 grams recreational?
As recreational. Yep.
And you also don't forget that you can also include, if you have a grow, you can also include those 4 plants that you get recreational as well.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. If you're growing at another location and you want to grow 4 plants at home, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. But only 4 plants per household.
Although, this week...
But if you have a license to grow there, then you can just add 4 more plants to your plant count.
My mom, a few months ago, I don't know if you guys remember, a few months ago, I was telling you that my mom's building had a questionnaire mailed out. Well, they have banned cannabis use recreationally in the building, but if you are medical, you are allowed to.
Well, that's normal.
Yeah, I know.
That's okay.
They can't ban medical patients.
No, they can't. Which means like
That's a
how?
charter
But how do you?
challenge.
Are you medical? Would you have to prove it?
Sure. We've
Okay.
had to prove
What if
it
I don't want to?
since
I'm an
2001.
MMAR. Okay. What if I don't want to prove it now? I shouldn't have to.
And why
You just
wouldn't
said
you
you're
want to?
MMAR.
Why wouldn't you want to? If you are allowed to smoke as a medical person, I'd be offering up my paper as quick as I
Oh
could.
yes, of course I would. Yes.
Right, to give you
Right.
that permission.
But I don't want to.
And anybody else would. It doesn't matter if you want to or not.
When I
If
got
you
my
need to prove that you're a
MMAR, I
medical
was gonna.
patient, then you don't be stupid and say, I don't want to.
When I got my MMAR, I was going to black out all the important information and put it on my door. Just poke it on with a thingy on my door. What were you going to say, Mary J?
I said you sound like a 5-year-old when you say, "But I don't want to."
But I don't want to.
And somebody comes along and steals his license off his door.
Well, it's an advertisement as well. Hey, check it out. I got a garden in my house.
It will be.
Yeah, I have pot.
It will be. I don't grow pot in my place.
No, but you have pot. You're a patient.
Don't tell people that.
If you put the
You're the one
notice
that put the license on the door.
I said was. I didn't.
Yeah, don't.
No, but you know what? I have heard tales of people putting up a copy, like on the wall of their garden, right in their garden room and things like that.
But that's not an outside access, so people are going to know what it is.
No, I've seen a certain individual who had a sign that said flat out, "This is a medical grow," and a copy of their license was right there as well, outside.
Yeah.
Outside, yes. I have signs that say medical garden and no trespassing, and I'm not responsible for the injuries or death that may occur, things like that. So people don't
You,
put my garden.
you made Paula laugh.
Why? It's amazing what you can do when you plug a fence into the wall.
Yeah, I'll tell you, somebody stole my bicycle. So I got a new one, and I ran a line down from my bedroom window, and there's a plug on the end and a switch. I ran a line down, attached it to our metal bike rack, and then I attached the other end to the spoke of my bike so that if you moved it, it completed a circuit and a light went on. So I'm sitting there one night, all of a sudden the light starts blinking and I hear and I look down and there's somebody trying to steal my fucking bike, but I got electrocuted, so they ran away. I was about 12 years old.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Life in the city of Toronto.
I'm just wondering how many kids are going to be ripping off the outdoor plants next year.
Unfortunately, I think that's going to increase. There's going to be. Okay, so let me. Since we're talking about that,
are we getting a $5,000 fine if you can see your marijuana?
That's what I was just going to ask. Have they changed that, Marcel?
So there will be no ripping off of anything because you can't see it.
Well, but you see, if I had my house still, I'd have a plant on one side of the doorway and a plant on the other side of the doorway. And people are going to do that next year. I'm sorry, they're just going to do it. Okay, just for spec. Okay, can I grow weed or not?
Because nobody's going to see it because you got nobody around you.
Yeah, well, there's going to be pictures of fucking, government and cop shops and their gardens, and you're going to see weed. You see it every year.
But I think there's going to be a full-out rebellion soon. Like, we're hearing all this crap about, we're out of cannabis. Canada's not out of cannabis. Our government sources might be out of it, but we're
I'm not out.
Yeah, but if they continue raiding all these dispensaries and everything else.
Marking themselves safe when the cannabis shortage.
Yeah. I literally had Americans on Facebook say, "Oh, but I heard you guys are out of cannabis." We're like, no, that's the licensed producers.
Yeah, everybody. There's lots of cannabis, and the problem is, if people are looking for cannabis, go down to Toronto Police Headquarters. There's shitloads of it down there because they've been going around raiding all the dispensaries all over the fucking place. It's ridiculous. Excuse my French. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
You're not allowed to fucking swear on the air.
I'm sure 14 Division and 52 would be happy to sell you some.
Well, one of the I enjoy Hamilton because it's all out here. It's just right there. Everything's right there. In Toronto, unfortunately, well, Abby's got a new place she's opening up on the Danforth, and so that's taking a little bit of Kensington Market out and putting it out on the Danforth. But there's not a lot of dispensaries. Jamie McConnell shut down. Amy's done. Yeah, and Amy is closed Canada, although they're doing other things
And
there
this is
now.
the fear factor. They're trying to scare everyone. They're sending letters to landlords. They're doing all this overbearing crap. When in like 6 months' time, it's going to be legal anyway. Like just license these guys. Let us roll it out because this OCS is a joke. Like nobody wants this OCS crap at this point. And I think if next couple of months, if this continues, we keep being loud. Get them to open it up, man. Because like right now, it's a joke. Everybody knows
it's like the government is an infant right now with the cannabis thing, and we've got to teach it how to behave.
Yeah, because we have the system there. It's going. It's just let's get it licensed and regulated instead of like letting all the big LPs and all the big producers come in and like corner the market. Like there's already a market here. It's been going for like decades and decades. People that know what they're doing, professionals. And that's where the supply of cannabis is coming from right now. It's not coming from LPs. They're all dried up. They can't even get the medical crap out. Like, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
So,
but also this is what's called growing pains.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's going to get a little loud in here because the loud people just came in.
Yeah, we have
I'm not in pain,
guests here
so
Uh-huh.
I'm happy.
All day long.
So, what is the current climate out where you are, Glenn? Is it all free and fancy as it's been for the last 10 years, or is everybody,
Right now in British Columbia, they only have one store, and that's in Kamloops.
Why Kamloops?
I don't know. That's just the first place that.
You mean Vancouver does not have one legal pot store? Is that what you're saying?
Kamloops, and all the other stores in Vancouver, I believe some have shut down and some are still running.
Wow.
Right, because some of them are licensed through the city still in Vancouver, correct?
Yes. Yep.
And and I believe there may be a
Somebody just won
court case.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody just won a variance case too, and they're coming back too.
Right.
So it's still the same sort of thing. I think there have been some people who were fear-mongered and they've closed down because they don't want to end up in jail, or there's still some in Vancouver that are still going strong.
Well, that's good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good to hear.
And I think it's the government being a little bit compassionate out here, because if they only have one store in Kamloops, then they're really going to piss a bunch of people off in BC if they're not going to let them have their medicine or their smoke.
That's all going to work itself in the mail, so to speak.
Yeah.
Speaking of mail, are you guys getting mail out there?
I use Pure later.
Yeah. Are you getting mail, Marcel and Mary Jane? Have you been getting your mail? I've got mail like 3 times since they started this stuff.
No mail.
No mail for you for 2 days.
They were shut down here in Hamilton, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
And then last week they shut the central sorting facility in Toronto, which pushed all deliveries back a day.
Wow.
And last 2 days have been going in the mailbox, nothing.
Are you getting mail out there, Mary Jane?
She must be rolling.
Evidently not. She missed the stagecoach.
Oh, I don't know. I'm never home to even check the mail. So I don't know. Bills be piling up.
Marcel, are you getting mail?
Yep.
Well, must be a PEI thing.
We don't get a whole lot of mail, anyways, because it's always like we'll go a few days without any mail at all. So it's been pretty normal for us.
Sometimes I mean I have 2 bills. That's it. Unless it's products or gifts being sent to me to review, I get 2 bills twice a month because they always send out twice. Fucking Rogers, man. Holy. They send you 2 bills at a time.
I have TELUS, so they email me and text me and then text me again.
And then hound you until you pay it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So now Puff Dog is here and Kelly's here now.
Oh, cool. having
Yeah.
a party.
No,
Are they
it's the
signing up too?
Yeah, get them on Cannamatch.
they don't need to now. They're a couple.
I'm just helping promote, man. I'm not signing up, but I'll help you promote it.
Kelly,
Thank you.
I'm
do
like
you want to
50.
sign up on Cannamatch? Yes.
Cannamatch.ca.
She's getting married now.
Cannamatch.com in the States.
They're getting married, so that's a no.
We're on. Well, tell them about the couple thing. We're on Twitter at cannamatch.ca. We have an email, cannamatch.ca at yahoo.com. We're getting there. They're on Instagram too,
Yeah, if
Cannamatch.
they're getting
Well,
married and going on the honeymoon, this could work out. They could hook up.
Yeah,
Paula.
they might be able to find another couple where they're going.
Come here.
Uruguay, maybe.
So Paula's here, and Glenn would like. How about New Year's, a Cannamatch New Year's Eve couples evening?
Yeah, find new
Doc,
love
turn
for
the mic
new
on.
year.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there you go. So let's talk about that and get on that.
Get on it.
Sure.
All right,
Get on that.
we'll get on that. Get down on it. Get down on it.
You only got what 60 some odd days.
60 days. All
Yeah,
right.
you might wanna
So
get on that.
you heard it here. We're gonna have a. Michael and Kelly brought a new sign for the cash register. So we're gonna have a. Everybody's welcome, but we'll figure out the details. But we're gonna have an
Charge
evening.
the women.
And you know what I'd like to do?
Charge the women to get in the
Speed
door.
dating. Speed dating. 420 speed dating.
Right,
Yeah.
but if you charge the women to get in the door, it won't seem so racist.
I can't hear you now. It got loud. I got to put my headset on.
Rigs or divvies?
So, are you?
Are you
Every time you sit down, you got to do a dab with the new person.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that. Speed dating, Paula. Dab dating. Dab dating.
Dab dating.
Dab dating. You heard it here at Gunjanistas.
Imagine if you had a group of 50 people, how wrecked you'll be by the time you visited 50
Dated
people.
everybody.
We have we have 2 rooms. We can do more than 50 people.
The poor girl and the poor guy. That's 50 dabs. That's a lot of dabbing.
Awesome. So yeah, let's definitely talk over the next little while and figure that out, Glenn, because that's exciting. I like doing stuff like that, and I don't think that there's any. Yeah, I'm a victim of, and I keep saying this, of Toronto. You remember the telephone bar on Mount Pleasant and Eglinton? Do you remember that place?
I was more of the brass rail, Zanzibar.
No, I worked at the Brass Rail. I was a bouncer there, but there was a telephone bar where you go in and you sit down at the table, and it had a number above, and you call that number, and you get the person sitting at that table, and you talk or not, right? But you know, a lot of times you'd go in and the phone would just keep ringing, and you'd answer it, and they'd be like, or. You know, it's like, yeah, if I wanted that, I'd be calling 1976. Blow me.
Isn't it 1111?
Something like that. I'm enjoying this new angle. I'm up on the stage. I've never done the show from the stage before. Yeah. But so, yeah. Oh, I see a baggie of treats over there.
Yeah.
Chocolates. Chocolates. Yes, please. Chocolates. We made some yummy chocolates. Anyways, so is there anything else that we wanted to cover today?
Well, we're going to do dab dating, right?
Dab dating. Dab dating.
What about some sort of a New Year's theme or something? I don't know.
New Year's theme dab dating. Yeah. Don't eat all that at once, Cal. So
remember, go low and start slow.
Yes,
No,
go
start
low
slow and go slow. That's a good
Okay, and then let's be really, really nice, and let's have rides available for people at the end of the night.
Well, you know what? You know what we could do? We could invite one of the Canatour buses to bring people from Toronto.
Yes.
You know, we could do a Cannabus ride from Toronto. I'd be in for that.
But I'm just thinking of the new impairment laws for driving. So how bars always offer a ride, they have a ride home service.
Yes, they do.
So if we're going to do a New Year's Eve party, people are probably going to be drinking and smoking. So maybe we should have something like that too, and then that frees up a lot of more people. They knowing that they can get home safely.
Well, there won't be alcohol because we don't do alcohol, but
Okay, all right.
There will be smoking, yes, and
What about champagne at midnight?
no, we can come up with something a little bit different, cannabis related for midnight.
Okay.
Like
You're gonna have a liquor license to have liquor there.
Kombucha or
Even
whatever
if
we
it's
call
a New
it.
Year's Eve private function.
Doesn't matter.
Yes,
You're gonna have
because it's
people there.
because it's a
I don't drink.
storefront.
I don't
So
drink, so.
Yeah. No, you need
kratom
liquor
dating,
license for that.
kratom dating. Hey, kratom dating or crantum dating, crantum dating, not kratom.
Freedom.
And I think to get the liquor license,
For kratom?
somebody
Kratom?
there's got to have a
Kratom?
even for a private function, they've got to have a serving it right.
Oh, really? Eh? Even just oh, wow. Huh.
Well,
in BC too. If you're going to do a function,
Yeah.
even for a for private party, then you still
I
have to
have
get
a
liquor
function every
license.
morning
It's
at
like
9
next to
o'clock.
nothing. But the person applying has to have the serving it right certificate.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Like,
Somebody's at home and laughing right now at that comment I just made. I just know it. Probably PJ.
say?
I said, I don't remember. You'll have to listen to the recording.
You know what? I have a connection with Beyond Smoking. They make cannabis cigars. So maybe I could get them to make us up a really nice one that we could spark up at midnight.
Cannabis cigars.
Yeah. It's Beyond. They're called Beyond Smoking.
if you had come on the boat with us, like everybody else did.
Hey,
would
yeah,
have
let's
had-
get a Canna cruise. We'll do a Canna cruise from Toronto to Hamilton.
Yeah, that'll work well.
On December 31st, we'd have icicles by the time we got there.
Well, I was talking about during the summer, but yeah, we'll try it.
Summer. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what? That might be
We do
interesting.
Canada fishing trips.
Oh, we're not allowed to smoke on boats.
We are.
Oh, see, in British Columbia, you are.
We are?
You are allowed to.
You're
smoke
allowed
on
to
a
smoke on a
commercial
boat.
vehicle.
No, but not the driver. The as
No,
far as I know, as far as the law goes on that, it's the same as in a car. It cannot be within reach of the driver.
Okay, so like when I was reading that article, it specifically says that you can smoke on a commercial vehicle.
On a commercial vehicle.
So if we're renting out a boat, is that not a commercial vehicle?
Yep.
Yeah, it
And
is.
a charter
Yeah.
would be a commercial vehicle, right?
Fair
So
enough.
we would be able to smoke on the boat.
Let's smoke on the boat.
What about bicycles?
Bicycles. What about bicycles?
Eat edibles
We have to
on
ask a
school
cop that.
property.
Let's ask a cop.
Yes. In British Columbia, now with the new law, you can eat edibles, consume, and they use the word consume, you can consume cannabis on school property.
See, I wish we had Jack right now, because
Yeah.
Jack knows.
Jack knows shit.
That's a cool one.
Oh,
I like the fact that you can't smoke on school property though, can you?
No, but see that's the whole government thing.
well, they've allowed that for students that need. They've
Is a consumption.
they have allowed that for medical students. For students that are medical cannabis
Yeah, very
patients,
likely.
they've allowed that. But you can't do that recreationally.
Okay, so it says here, no smoking or vaping in indoor public places except in a designated room at assisted living or retirement facilities or hospitals, or in a hotel room registered by a registered guest. The hotel may choose to prohibit. No smoking or vaping of cannabis within 6 meters of doorways, windows, air takes, or public buildings, bus stops, or bus shelters. No smoking or vaping of cannabis in public patios. No use of cannabis on any sidewalks, boulevard adjacent to a school property under the Cannabis Control and Licensing Act. Note that the consumption of non-medical cannabis in any form or on any school property is prohibited. No smoking of or vaping of cannabis in regional or municipal parks except for designated campsites. No smoking or vaping of cannabis.
If you can smoke, at a campsite, it's cigarettes. You can smoke cannabis.
Yeah. It says no smoking or vaping of cannabis in provincial parks except in the designated smoking area or as authorized by the park officer. So a park officer could give you permission to smoke. Okay. When in an assigned enclosed cabin on a commercially operated boat, the operator may still prohibit on a boat with sleeping accommodations, kitchen facilities, and a toilet where moored or anchored, and no cannabis in vehicles except for motorhomes or other motor vehicles or campers or trailers when parked off a public road or Forest Service roads where camping is allowed, were being used as a private residence. What else did they have in here? They got a whole bunch of these things. Amendments. I can't seem to find where it says about the school property when I was reading it. But they use the word consumption, and then I believe if you're smoking it, you're still consuming it.
Yes, technically.
Okay, yeah, here it is. Okay, so however, there are exceptions. For example, rules that allow for the consumption of medical cannabis on school property or on inner city buses, trains, and boats.
For medical cannabis.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So you can have edibles. I guess you could smoke too, because that's what I'm saying. Smoking is consuming, is it not?
And you're a medical patient.
Yes. Yeah, it says right there in the new BC laws. However, there are exceptions.
But then Al would have to
from
pull
Global News.
Yeah,
so
but then Al would have to pull out his license and prove that he was a medical patient, and he would be all pissed off.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah, big baby.
But I could smoke on the trains and buses, inner city buses too.
As patient, not recreational.
Yeah, because like people have been playing with that word consumption. Smoking and consumption is different, and I'm trying to argue no, it's not, because you're still consuming cannabis.
Right.
We're having karaoke tonight after.
Spark up a joint on the bus, an inner city bus. Somebody is going to complain.
If they, they should have worded it that the ingesting of cannabis on school property and buses and things like that.
Yeah, but they didn't. But they used the word consumption.
The problem with that then comes in the fact that suppository insertion would be an ingestion, and do you really want that to be happening on the bus?
No, I think it's probably more on the line of edibles and stuff like that. But
I think so.
Yes, but it doesn't say that, and that's where the government has made another mistake, right? So I was just they're allowing people to use medical cannabis on school property, inner city buses, trains, and boats. So if we were to have a Canna cruise, we would be allowed to smoke on the boat. And does this cover the ferries? Does that mean I can go on BC ferries now and spark up a joint and not have any problems because the government is saying that?
I know others that have.
Yeah. Well, I have when it was prohibited. Yes, I've done a few smoking in Publix, and then I actually shared with a few people on the ferry at the same time. But now the government is saying that you can smoke on boats for medical reasons.
Which is the way it should be.
It should be, yeah. I don't know if anybody's tried it yet. I should go take a boat ride. I've been liking going into the mall, smoking pits, and sparking up a joint.
Now, what I'm wondering, does anybody know what the flying laws are with cannabis right now? Because I'm going to be flying in the next week.
I've been told you're allowed to bring whatever will fit in a 1 liter container. So That's on your. That's the carry on. If you're flying domestically, I always just throw it in my suitcase. I take the joints that I need if I've got some layovers, and then I keep everything else in my suitcase, and it's not a problem.
Oh no, I actually have to carry it on with me because I went cheap and went with Swoop.
Yeah, so
So
you can
it's
now. You can, and the guards, unless you have a medical paper. Now, if you have medical paper, then they're not going to say anything to you. But if you're just doing it recreationally, it's what can fit in a 1 liter container.
30 grams.
30 grams.
That's your
all right.
maximum carry. That's your maximum carry is recreational, anyways. Is 30 grams. But you carry. What you do is you have a copy of your license with whatever you're carrying up to your 150 grams.
Yeah.
And bring it with you.
I always put my license in the bag where the weed is.
Yeah.
So that before they look at the bag of weed, they see my license right
I
on
put
face.
everything in the back seat where I can't get at it, just like I would do with a fucking case of beer.
Yep. Oh yeah, I've heard that already too. They want you to lock it up in your trunk, or
That's
they
where
want
I
you to
put it.
lock it in a locked glove box.
The wording is it can't be readily available to the driver.
So my question is, how am I supposed to roll a joint while I'm driving now?
On the parkway when they're stopped.
My question is my little pill jar that I've been carrying for 15 years with my doobies in it in my pocket. Am I not allowed to have that anymore? Do I got to throw it in my trunk, which I don't have because I drive a Fiat? So, like, what am I supposed to do? I don't have a locked glove box either.
Me either.
Yeah.
But I could put it in the trunk, but.
So.
Being medical, does that mean that I'm allowed to carry it now? Because do people that have prescriptions for T3s and T4s and perks, do they have to throw their stuff in the trunk?
Yes.
No.
No.
Because it's not cannabis.
So if a cop rolls up on you and you have your ibuprofen sitting in your console, you better fucking hide it.
That's over the counter, but yeah. But you know, it's just saying because it's medicine, right? If a cop tries to tell me that I can't have my little pill jar in my pocket where I've been carrying it for so many years because of the new laws, I'm going to say it. But people carry their pill jars. Do you carry your medicine with you? You know, like it's my medicine. I'm not doing recreational stuff with it. It's there in case I have a really bad muscle spasm because I have scoliosis and I get muscle spasms a lot and I gotta smoke. So what am I supposed to do? Be able to crawl out of my car to go to the back of my Fiat to pull out a joint so I can smoke on the side of the road and stay there for 2 hours because I can't drive impaired?
There you go.
Really? Really? Like what are we supposed to do? if I go for a drive like I did to Toronto, like I did with my daughter in May of this year, am I not allowed to smoke for the whole trip, or just when we pull over in the motel that night? Like they've got to come up with some better rules.
It's better that we've got it better than the military. They have to, and the cops, they have to wait 28 days.
Well, that's the RCMP, but in Vancouver, you just have to be fit for duty.
Yes, just like Toronto.
Yeah, yeah, and that's really pissing off.
I think that's what they said about Toronto.
SkyTrain, and he just got like slapped on the wrist because he was caught smoking, not smoking, but having THC in his system before it was legal. And yeah, they're just laying it down on him, and he's just a SkyTrain guy. A cop can come to Vancouver with his gun and arrest people and know the law and just be fit for duty.
Yeah, as long as you're fit for duty. So you can be like, oh, hey man, you can't do that here, man. I'm gonna have to give you a fucking ticket, man, and then I got to go back in my cruiser and finish my doobie.
Yeah,
I can pretty much guarantee you're not going to see that.
No, I don't think so. Not that perversely, anyways.
No,
because don't forget, most cops smoke pot anyways.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is actually a good
not
thing.
If you're
because
RCMP, because you don't work twice in a month.
Yeah.
You work every goddamn day, so they're not allowed to smoke. Period. and they're the ones that probably need it, just like the military, because of the PTSD.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, on a medical ground, an RCMP officer can say, "Well, I have PTSD from this job, and my medicine is cannabis. That's against my rights."
Yeah. I hear you. So listen, guys, it's getting to the point where we're going to have to do shout-outs and stuff, and I want to make sure that Glenn gets his plug in again. Do you have anything that you want to bring up or anything, Mary Jane, before we go?
Nope, I don't think so.
Nope. And Marcel?
No, I'll
No?
just go back to being busy.
All right. All right. So, Glenn, go ahead.
Go ahead. Come to Cannamatch.ca. We're trying to put the marriage and marijuana. Don't bring a bottle, bring a bag.
And I'll be giving updates on how my experience is going.
That'd be great. That'd be great. And I thank you very much for signing up, sir.
Thank you for joining us, and I definitely let's talk over the next couple of days, and we'll get some stuff going on.
You know where I am.
I do. This has been the 420 Radio Show. We are here 7 p.m. Eastern Time. What time is it there, Marcel, that we're on? 8 Atlantic Time?
Yeah.
And
or Pacific.
Next week, do we have anybody booked already, Mary Jane? I don't remember.
I'm just waiting for them to confirm, but I believe we have Dana Larson on. He
Ooh.
has some exciting news.
Always
I'm
interesting to
hoping
talk to Dana.
Love Dana.
Does he have anything interesting that he's coming up that he's coming to talk to, or is he just coming for a chat?
Well, you know Dana. You never know what he has up his sleeve.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And I don't know who we have on the higher estate this week, but I'm sure that people will see posts soon. So once again, thank you for listening. Thank you, Glenn, for joining us. Thank you guys for being here as usual. And we'll say goodnight.
Peace out.
Peace out. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Night, Mary
Have a
Jane.
good one.
Have a great night, guys.
Are you looking for cannabis news, education, and people's opinions? Are you looking to learn what Canadian and international cannabis advocates are doing, not only now, but what got them to this point in their lives, and what does the future hold for them? Do you want to learn how patients are using cannabis as their daily medication, or learn how their cannabis use helps them with their medical condition? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I'm going to suggest to you to tune in to Lifestyle Radio. Catch their live weekly shows and have your questions and concerns answered and find the experience you're looking for. Monday, catch your weekly news broadcast with the Reef Reporters. Then on Wednesday, get several hours worth of cannabis public education. We get things started with Cannabis and Coffee with Tamarawana. Then tune in and catch Pottawa with Russell Barth, who calls himself the world's angriest pothead. Finish up your evening with the award